This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, let's start ABAP on HANA topic. So first we need to understand what is ABAP versus ABAP on HANA. Like how ABAP and ABAP on HANA is a difference that need to be understood. So for that, what we are going to do, we are going to HANA system and we are going to understand is there any difference in ABAP dictionary point of view? Is there any difference in BDC point of view? Is there any difference in ABAP reports point of view? All these things we are going to discuss. Then we will see what is actually ABAP on HANA and when do we call HANA is a sidecar, main car, what is bottom up approach, what is top down approach. Then we start bottom up approach objects, top down approach objects. So this is what we are going to do. So I'm going to SAP system with HANA database. First, let us check dictionary point of view. Is there any changes? I'm going to create domain. We know we create with YR Z the domain. Domain is used to hold the data type and length of the field. And here I have given short description and data type. So data type I have given a number of characters. So it's the same like in HANA and non-HANA DB because we didn't find any change during creation of domain. Let us also check data type. Usually data type may be data element or a structure or a table type, and data element which holds labels from backend and which is like mediator between field and domain. That is data element. So data element is also fine, no difference. Coming to structure, structure is a physical object, but data stores at runtime. Structure is a physical object, but data stores at runtime. Here also we don't find much difference. Then table type, which is a physical object, but data stores at runtime. It stores multiple data. So domain, data type, no difference what we understood. Now coming to the type group, we know type group like list, which has some declarations, and we reuse those declarations by declaring type group. So this is also fine. It's the same because even when you create it's the same. Even coming to the such cells, there are elementary such cells and collective such cells. If you go for elementary such cells, it is used to display data in a single tab, but here we give selection method as a table or a view, and here we give the field. So it's also the same, no difference. Even collective such cells is used to display multiple tabs. It's also the same, no difference. Then coming to the view, it's a dictionary view. We have the if you go for dictionary view, we have database view, projection view, maintenance view, health view. There are four types of dictionary views. Database view is used to display data from more than one table, and projection view is to project few fields from one table. Maintenance view is used to maintain data. Help view is used for match code. So here also we don't have difference. And even log objects, we usually start with E, then Z or Y, then you give some name and create. Usually log objects, what is log object? In log objects, there are different types actually. These are the write log, read log. For example, if you are creating data in any table, let's say we are booking a flight. At the same time, if someone is also booking the same seat, it gives the message like updated for us and for him. And to avoid that, we create log object. Now coming to the table, delivery class, how to deliver the content from one system to another system. Here we have different options: display or maintenance allowed, display or maintenance not allowed. You know all these options. Coming to the fields, here we give the field, and coming to the technical settings, we have data class, physical setup of table, size category, but here in the DB specific properties is the extra tab. Are we able to see this tab in non-HANA databases? My question is, are we able to see this tab in non-HANA databases? Hello, are you able to hear me?
Can't see that one. We can't see that one. I think from Netgear 7.5 onwards, we can see that one.
Yeah. So even non-HANA databases, but yes, in HANA databases, this DB specific properties is there tab, but it doesn't mean it is only available in non-HANA databases. It is it is available in only HANA databases. Of course, it is available in all SAP systems with HANA database, but it is also available in non-HANA databases from NetWeaver ABAP 7.4. For example, let me show you another SAP system which is non-HANA database. It's not working. I will show some other system. If we go system status, MS SQL database, see here also you are able to see the DB specific properties because of NetWeaver ABAP 1.4 version. So what we understood now, there is no difference in ABAP dictionary point of view whether it is HANA or non-HANA. Now, is there any difference BDC point of view? So, BDC batch data conversion is used to upload the data. Is used to upload the data. So, BDC actually even before HANA, SAP is powerful in writing data. Mostly HANA came to the market because of reading data. So there is no difference even BDC point. BDC remains same. Then ABAP report, smart forms, daily IDOC, workflow, customer exit, user exit, enhancement, simplicity enhancement, explicit enhancement, WebDyn Pro, OData, everything remains same. There is no change before HANA and after HANA. Then why do we call ABAP and HANA? What is changed is wherever we write select statements which reads data from database, that select statements are changed. That select statements are changed into optimized ABAP. That select statements are changed into ABAP and HANA. That select statements are transformed as push down approach. Wherever we have select statements, whether it is BDC or smart forms or workflow, wherever in ABAP, wherever we have select statements, those select statements are changed. That can be transformed, that can be converted into ABAP and HANA, which is push down approach. So we need to understand how these select statements are changed, what is changed, how is changed, what to do. All these things we will discuss as part of ABAP and HANA. But if we discuss whether it is HANA, like ABAP and HANA versus ABAP, if we discuss ABAP versus ABAP and HANA, everything remains same. Only the thing is select statements are changed. Our select statements are transformed into ABAP and HANA. How the select statements are transformed, what is changed, how is changed, why is changed, all those things that will be discussed now as part of ABAP and HANA, which we are going to start now. Any questions before that? Is it clear whatever we discussed till now? Everyone? Can I get responses in the chat box? Okay, let us discuss. Before that, we need to understand two things. When do we call, because entire HANA is revolves around two topics. They are HANA is a main core or primary database. HANA is a main core or primary database. HANA is sidecar or secondary database. Entire HANA revolves around these two topics. We will discuss these two topics even when we start HANA modeling, when we start data provisioning, when we start ABAP and HANA. In all the topics we discuss this. Okay, when do we call HANA is main core or primary database? Imagine this is an ECC system with HANA database. This is an SAP system with HANA database. Whatever we write here, if you read the same data, then we call HANA is main core or primary database. But let me tell you, let's say I created 100 sales order, 100 vendors, 100 customers. And if I read the same information from this system or from this database, then we call HANA is a main core or primary database. Whatever data is written, we are going to read the same data. Whatever data is written, we are going to read the same data. So it means that if you write and read the data in the same system, if you write and read the data in the same database, then that database is called main core or primary database. So you may ask a question like, without writing data, how we read it? It's actually we do the same in every system, right? But once I discuss the second point, sidecar or secondary database, then you will also come to know about this topic. So HANA is sidecar or secondary database. Let's say if your customer has different source systems in his landscape, if he has ECC with MS SQL database to manage logistics and logistics business, he has Oracle, let's say finance, to manage finance business. If he has Workday to manage HR business, he has some custom applications where cannot be done using ERP. So he has also some .NET, and also he has some XLS and CSV files where lot of data is there. So customer has this many source systems in his landscape. So here the question is, why the customer is having this many systems? Why can't he use a SAP or any ERP and he can manage everything inside that? Why he is using this many systems? So it is completely depends upon the business need. It's completely depends upon the business need. For example, it may MS SQL like SAP shoots for him only for logistics business. It may not shoot for finance or HR business. Maybe Oracle fits for FI business and same way HR Workday fits for HR business. And he has some applications like .NET custom applications. Maybe ERP doesn't work. That is the reason he is using .NET. He also has some lot of XLS and CSV files. So we cannot say because of their business they have to use this many source systems, because maybe that particular system is supporting only that piece of business and not all the piece. For example, even in our home, even though all products are available in LG or Samsung or Whirlpool, we do not choose all are related to one brand. We may just, yeah, any question, Murli? Murli Mohan, do you have any question? Okay, I am putting mute. Okay. For example, in our home, we use LG TV, Whirlpool refrigerator, some other washing butterfly grinder, some washing machine, some other refrigerator, but AC. We don't go for all either LG or some, right? It depends upon completely our usage or our based on our price and based on our the quality or the feedback we received. Same way, our customers also use different systems in their landscape, even though they are available, all are available in SAP. Here, whatever data is written, if we read the same data, of course, then we call this is a main core or primary database. Same thing here, whatever data is written here, if that data is read, we call here main core or primary database. Same here, same here, same here. But here the point is all the data is not centralized. Here we have some data, here we have some data, here we have some data. So data is not centralized, data is scattered across different databases. So definitely it is a challenge here to do the reportings and all, because the data is scattered in different databases. So in order to have all the data at one place, customer uses data warehousing system. Data warehouse means what? Warehouse means, right, it's a storage. Material warehouse means material storage. Same way data warehouse means data storage. For example, if the customer has ECC with HANA database as a data warehousing system, he used data provisioning to move the data from different source systems to the target system. So data provisioning is used to move the data to the target system from different source systems. As part of data provisioning, we have different ETL tools. E means which extract the data. T means which transform the data. L means which load the data. So it extract the data from the source systems and it transform the data according to the target system and it load the data. So it extracts and finally it loads the data. It puts all the data in this HANA database. Whatever data is written here, we are reading the data from here, because these tables and data is used for further reporting and analysis. Maybe these tables are used in this system or these tables are used in some reporting tools, whatever it is. We have written the data here, but you are reading the data from here. We have written the data here, but you are reading the data from here. Same thing in all these cases. So if you write and read the data in different databases, if you have written the data in some other databases, but if you are reading the data from this HANA database, then we call this HANA is sidecar or secondary database. Then we call this HANA is called sidecar or secondary database. Then we call this HANA is sidecar or secondary database. So we understood when do we call HANA is main core or primary database, and when do we call HANA is a sidecar or secondary database. Is it clear, everyone? Any questions on these two topics? Can I get responses in the chat box? Okay, thanks. Now we need to understand what kind of ABAP and HANA objects are performed when HANA is main core or primary database. What kind of objects are performed when HANA is sidecar or secondary database? First, let us discuss when HANA is a sidecar or secondary database. Actually speaking, these tables are replicated from these source systems to this database along with the data. These tables and data doesn't exist in ABAP layer, in ABAP dictionary. You cannot see this table from SC11. Same like when we create a schema directly in HANA modeling perspective in HANA Studio or Eclipse in catalog folder, we cannot see that table and data in SC11. If you create directly table in database schema in catalog folder, and if you insert data, you cannot see the table and data in S11 in GUI or in dictionary folder in ABAP perspective in HANA Studio or Eclipse. Same way, here these tables are replicated directly in this database from these different source systems. So we cannot view these tables and data in ABAP layer. So in order to view these tables and data in ABAP layer, what we do is in database, we already have HANA modeling views. HANA modeling views are created in HANA modeling perspective in HANA Studio or Eclipse, means they are created directly in the database. So HANA modeling views are nothing but attribute view, analytical view, calculation view. You already know that. Anyway, if you don't know, anyway, we will discuss these things in the HANA modeling. Also, we create procedure that we will discuss in the coming days. Procedure is created directly in the database in HANA modeling perspective in HANA Studio or Eclipse in the content folder. In the content folder, we create procedure and HANA modeling views. These are created directly in the database. They may be available or we create them based on some tables. What we will do now in the ABAP perspective in HANA Studio or Eclipse in ABAP layer, we create external views on top of HANA modeling views. We create database procedure proxies on top of procedures. So these are ABAP and HANA objects. We create these in ABAP layer, in ABAP perspective on HANA Studio or Eclipse, because all ABAP and HANA objects created in ABAP perspective in HANA Studio or Eclipse on top of this database object. So external view is created on top of HANA modeling views. Database procedure proxy is created on top of procedure. This approach is called bottom-up approach. This approach is called bottom-up approach. Bottom-up approach means if you see the bottom objects in the up, if you are able to see the database objects in the ABAP layer, we are using the database objects in the ABAP layer. We are using HANA modeling procedures in external views and database procedure proxy. So we are using database objects in ABAP layer. We are using bottom objects in up. That is the reason we call it is a bottom-up approach. So in general, as a conclusion, when HANA is a sidecar or secondary database, it means if the tables and data exist in database, but if they do not exist in ABAP layer, in order to show that in ABAP layer, we go for bottom-up approach. We create external views and database procedure proxies on top of, we create external view on top of HANA modeling views. We create database procedure proxies on top of procedures. So external view database procedure proxies are ABAP and HANA objects. We create them in ABAP perspective in HANA Studio or Eclipse. So we are using bottom objects in the up. We are using database objects in the ABAP layer. So this approach is called bottom-up approach. But in general, if tables and data exist in database, but if they do not exist in ABAP layer, in order to show that in ABAP layer, in a report or a smart form or a UI5, whatever it is, we use bottom-up approach. We create external views and database procedure proxy. So this thing we need to understand. So is it clear, everyone? When do we call, why do we call bottom-up approach? What ABAP and HANA objects do we create as part of bottom-up approach? And on which database objects these are created? Is it clear, everyone? Any questions? Can I get responses in the chat box? Everyone? Now let us understand when HANA is main core or primary database, what if you write and read the data in the same database, then we call HANA is main core or primary database. So definitely whatever tables and data exists in ABAP layer, it exists in ABAP layer and database. So what we do here is, you may ask, right? So my question is, here you already have tables and data in ABAP layer in S11. So how do you display that data in ABAP report or smart form? Can anyone answer my question? In this approach, when HANA is main core or primary database, tables and data already exist in ABAP layer, right? Then how can we display the data in ABAP programs and all?
So we
Any
can see the data in AC11 table. So we can write the normal programs only in AC38.
yes, so we can write direct select statements, right? That's what. So if you have we can write normal direct select statements and we can display the data like we usually do. But here in this case, if you do normal select statements, if you have 10 tables, each time it goes to the database and come back, goes to the database and come back, right? So if you have 10 tables, 10 times it goes and comes, goes and comes. So because of that, there is a lot of traffic and it takes a lot of time because 60% of time is consuming due to heavy traffic between application server and database server. So because of this, what we do is we need to have a push down approach. So in this case, we create AMDP and CDS views. We will discuss what is AMDP and what is CDS views. AMDP means ABAP Managed Database Procedure. CDS views means Core to Data Services. We create these in the ABAP layer, but execution happens in the database. AMDP means ABAP Managed Database Procedure. We create it in the ABAP layer, but execution happens in the database. CDS view also same thing. So we create these in the top, but execution happens in the down. We create these in the ABAP layer, but execution happens in the database. That is the reason we call this as a top-down approach. As part of top-down approach, we create AMDP and CDS views. Here the basic thumb rule is if the tables and data exist in ABAP layer, in order to have push-down approach, we use optimized ABAP like top-down approach, AMDP and CDS views. Even if it is HANA is a sidecar or secondary database also, we use push down approach only because HANA modeling and procedure they are directly executed in the database. So we understood when do we call HANA is a main core or primary database, when do we call HANA is a sidecar or second. First of all, today we understood ABAP versus ABAP and HANA. Then we understood when do we call HANA is a main core or primary database or sidecar or secondary database. We understood when do we call bottom-up approach, top-down approach, what do we do as part of bottom-up approach, what do we do as part of top-down approach. Okay. So tomorrow we will discuss some important things and we start external view creation. Okay. So I am stopping for today. If you have any questions, let me know. Is it clear? Yeah, the question is how can we come to know whether HANA is main core or sidecar, right? That's what, if the table, whatever table is there, if you are able to see it in S11, then along with data, then it is a main core. But if you are not able to see the data in ABAP layer, if you are able to see that only in the database, then it is like a sidecar. But anyway, we will come to know all these things when we start data frozening and all. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Have a nice day. Any questions? Yeah, absolutely. AMDP, CDS views, external views, database procedure proxies, these are all ABAP and HANA. We will discuss all these things now. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day.